Welcome to the Late Night Ops Not Live Radio Hour podcast number 5. What's going on out there? Against all odds, the ops continues. Shout out to the Cleveland Indians, who are officially changing their name after 105 years. Uh, I mean, do I think it's needed? Uh, it doesn't really bother me, but I do I do kind of get why it's kind of messed up. I mean, you got some fucking red-faced fucking Indian. Uh, but how was how was the name how was the name disrespectful though? Like there were Indians. Would they have to would they have to like get a bunch of Indians to play, or what would make it normal? Because it seems like, yeah, it kind of sucks about traditions and stuff, but that's the thing. Times always change and things are always changing. And, I support it if it really hurts, if it really does hurt Native Americans, sure, but I don't see why it matters. Oh, hey, a fucking baseball team is named after an Indian. Oh. But I get the like, uh, I get the mascot guy. That's a little rough. Uh, I get why maybe that's not okay, but it's just called the Indians, and 105 years. Holy fuck. Damn. I wonder what the tension was between them at that time. Probably much worse than. Uh, I can imagine. I can imagine all the that it stood. I'm surprised that it stood this long, honestly. But it couldn't make it out of 2020. So I don't give a fuck about baseball. MLB, never really watched. Did not much. I've been to a Clippers game. Shout out to a fucking Clippers being minor league. So on paper they could say, "Hey, I made it to the MLB." But it's like, "Hey, are you major or minor?" Homie, we major. But yeah, the minor leagues, shout out to that not being really that important. But it's where Columbus is, and shout out to the fact that I need to I need to opt into like soccer or try it at least, cause well, the only Columbus professional sports team besides the Jackets, I need to think about that too. Hockey. Uh, but yeah, the Crew, the fucking Crew just won uh, whatever they call their thing, and a title. They won a soccer title, and they were about to be like, "Hey, Crew." They were about to get rid of the Crew. They were about to say, "Hey, Crew, fuck you. We don't need you." But they saved the Crew last year, and I think the Crew was like, "Fuck, like, all right, well, we gotta do something crazy here. We gotta win," and they did. So shout out to that. I think it's interesting to like, I don't know, pick a sport that you don't really understand and try to understand it. Cause fuck. I opted into NASCAR last year, and what I say, my biggest thing is it doesn't lead up to anything that exciting. I saw the guy win, and it just feels like, okay, great. It doesn't feel like that big of a deal. And it could have been the COVID stuff with nobody in the place, which I wonder what a Super Bowl win is going to look like during COVID. But yeah, I mean, it it was kind of boring if I'm being honest, and maybe I don't understand all that exactly. Because I mean, obviously, obviously, there's a lot more to it. I just don't exactly get it. I slowly learning stuff, about it, but I do think it's more interesting than it seems, and I mean, I don't like the fact that it doesn't really lead up to nothing. I think that's why I think that's why the NFL is uh, fun and interesting because first of all, there's a lot of little things to know. There's a lot of it's a team sport, and I guess NASCAR is a team sport as well, but it's like a crew and a guy, and then I mean, I guess that's what everything is. Though. Crew and a guy. There's a head coach, and then you got like 50. Well, I'm not sure how many players. I think like 55 or something. But I like the fact that it's a lot more involved. It's a whole teamwork thing. Uh, I just don't get what it leads up to, and I like that in NASCAR they go to different places and different tracks, and it looks cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I get it. It's fun when it's fun, but it's not the top ops uh, at all. But it is fun. And shout out to the announcer guy for acknowledging that. Like, yeah, the wrecks are almost the most interesting part. My biggest thing with it is I seen one race where it was bad weather, and they were like, all right, uh, every fucking 3 laps. Not even that. They would get like a fucking whatever they measure on the track, like a fucking yard down the track, and they'd be like, "Hey, I know what the term is: green light racing, yellow light racing." Which they have to find a guy to like follow, and then they all. And I seen that the reason they fucking swerve like that when they're like, I forget what it was. I think it's to maintain their speed. But yeah, I mean it's interesting, like with all that, but yeah, I mean I wish it would lead up to something more. I like the fact that they have a lot of cars that look all different, and I don't know. I think the main thing I'm missing from fully opting into NASCAR would be 100% backing a racer. I don't really know. I know a couple, but I'm not like a fan of anyone yet. But I'm open to it. Shout out to the fact that there was a F1 race that I is actually that's what I think might be more interesting at F1 racing because it's like worldwide. The cars are insane, insanely fast. The tracks are more complex, so I like that. There, I forget his name, but there was a guy that uh, crashed in the one of the F1 races, and his car went to fucking uh, up in the flames. But thanks to safety precautions and uh, new technology, he was fine. He literally walked out of the car, a fireball, and he said on the news like, "Oh, people thought I was a superhero," and they don't take into account that there's a lot of technology that goes into it, and yeah, I mean that's the thing. Sure, sure, racing is not. I don't know if you can even call it a sport. Let's be honest. It's not exactly a sport, but whatever it is, there's a lot of risk. A lot of risk. I mean, fuck. You're going 200 plus miles per hour around a track. Uh, Anything can happen. So yeah, I mean, props to him, and props to there's re- there's really no way to really understand or like say this without sounding like mean, I guess, but there was they were making a thing about this like girl being the first like college football player. I'm like, all right, that's awesome, but then they're like, oh yeah, she's a kicker. I'm like, man, fucking anybody. I don't know if that's really opting into it, cause I mean, if she was a fucking like linebacker or something, then I'd be like, whoa. But yeah, I mean, a kicker, fucking anybody. Uh, well, I got. I don't mean it like that, cause it's a very skilled thing, and I mean, the kicker can be the hero or the not hero, because they can win it or lose it based off them fucking up. And apparently, the Bills, which shout out to them for beating the fucking Steelers. They kept they kept making a train sound at the Steelers Bills thing last night, and I thought it was funny because I have like a thing against the fucking trains here. The trains are always blocking up the town or whatever it would be. Uh, they're blocking up the fucking town, and it doesn't me think of that like even beforehand. I was like, all right, and I'm just glad that they can be handed two fucking losses, and thanks to the Redskins, I mean, hey, thanks to Washington for helping with that too. Yeah, think about that. The Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians both changed their names the same year. They're like they're like, guys, I don't know if we can get through another decade without somebody calling us out on this. And I mean, it's just one of those things where like I don't know, you just don't really think about it, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, which I never seen it as a big deal. But if I was uh, if I was a team owner, I definitely wouldn't want. I would not want my name to be tarnished with something like that. I mean, fuck. I mean, even if there's like 50 fucking Native Americans left, then I guess give them what they want. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you can just like change stuff like that and not expect people to be like, well, wait, because is it outdated? Yeah. Well, they have it even worse because I think the Redskins is a way worse name than the Indians because the Indians is just like a name that hey, there's a fucking they're named the Indians, and because the Indians are they existed or they do exist, But yeah, calling a team Redskin, I kind of get it. Even though I would like just to keep the tradition of like what the NFL is, but I mean that's the thing. Times change and teams change, and yeah, I mean I do get it. I wouldn't even say it's funny because all the like PC culture shit, they don't care about that. It's like, well, you guys are busy fucking taking I don't know, focusing on dumb shit like taking that guy's SNL thing away and just a million people trying to take down. Shout out to every fucking male celebrity almost being taken down in 2019 or whatever year it was, the Me Too movement, which needed to happen, but it's like fuck. I mean, you had that Aziz Ansari guy saying, "Oh, geez, I'm sorry." You turned Aziz Ansari into, "Oh, geez, I'm sorry," because he said he was on a date and like I mean, something happened and it wasn't even a big deal, and then he had to apologize for it. It's like, what's everybody apologizing for? I mean, they do it for their career. I mean, obviously he's not a bad guy, but they just have to. Cause yeah, I mean, the line starts getting blurred, and then everything's an issue, and then you're like, well, wait, uh, there are issues that are issues, and then there are things that are just not issues, and you can't make everything out like that. I mean, sure, did I look into it, and was Matt Lauer fucking creepy? Yeah, yeah, and shout out to Savannah Guthrie and Hoda. I'd like them. I definitely like them more anyway. I mean, they're fun. But yeah, I mean, at first I was a little bit like, what the fuck over Matt Lauer. But yeah, I mean, he really was kind of a creep, and I mean, it sucks, but they keep the good ones. Al Roker's still fucking rocking, so shout out to him. And you know, I mean, I would rather just a nice group of people than a fucking fake group, right? So yeah, I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to all the all the good people that went down with that too. Like some of them deserve it. Obviously, Harvey Weinstein is a fucking creep. Uh, but there's certain ones that got in trouble that I'm just like, well, they didn't really do anything. But yeah, I mean, that's the mess of the world today and like how it is. Like people, I don't know. Instead of focusing on like what they're doing and what they're trying to do. People just like to focus on tearing somebody else down. And I mean, some of it is deserved, some of it's not. But I don't, I don't think if some guys having a career and then some lady says, "Oh, this happened," and then it's fucking done. Like, well, there needs to be some investigation into it or something. Cause yeah, I mean, look, I'm a all for women kind of guy. Women fucking inspire me. I find joy out of it. It just makes me happy to see like strong women and stuff. But at times I can also maybe seem like maybe misogynistic, I guess. I mean, or I can seem both ways, really. But at the end of the day, I just like humans, people, and you know, whether you're man or woman, I just if you have that vibe that I think is cool, then I fucking opt into that. Like I like it. But yeah, I mean, something about like the vibe women give off, it makes me just like feel happy and expressive, and I always notice if I fucking like somebody like in that way, I always get more creative. It's like an inspiring thing too. But yeah, I mean, you gotta look. You gotta look at not just focusing a whole movement on like tearing somebody down. I mean, yeah, this this was. I felt weird about this too. When Brian Williams was taken off the nightly news because I guess he lied about. He was saying he was in a helicopter taking gunfire during like uh, the Iraq War or something like that, and he was saying like all this stuff. Well, it wasn't true, and I think he was in a plane, but he wasn't in like a fucking war zone. And before that, he was the most trusted name in news. At least that's what they say. But I mean, he's still doing something on like one of the like 24-hour things on like MSNBC or something. He's doing something like that. I don't know. Props. I mean, I don't think he deserved to lose his whole. That's why I'm glad he has like a chance up there because I don't think he deserved to lose. Maybe, maybe the nightly news. Yeah, it makes sense because how can you be the most trusted name in news when you don't even have a guy people trust? So yeah, I mean, I get I get why they had to down on him in that way. But yeah, I mean, I definitely like Lester Holt. I think he's you know, a trustworthy guy, a good guy. I think he's cool, and yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to out with the old and with the fucking new. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but that's the thing. Always evolving and learning stuff, trying to just be genuine and I mean, obviously, trust is the most valuable thing in news because if you don't have that, then there's really no getting through to people if they don't trust their news. I mean, as far as like national stuff, I'd be always more skeptical. Local stuff, I'm more inclined to just see it as like these are just people reporting to us and trying to do local stuff. And yeah, I mean, I try I try to be local in like a way of loving my town or whatever it may be, but it also feels like I'm in a town that uh, is just not like me at all. And you know, my my whole life I've been searching for like where I belong and stuff, and I've never felt like I found it. And it does get hard, but the is just I don't know. I don't know how I'm still here. I don't know how. I'm honestly surprised with myself. I got through so much, and people may never even see that or know that, but I got through so much in my life, and I can think of many points in my life where I could have just fucking opted out on living, but I just never wanted that. Like I don't care I don't care if I've always felt like people try to make you feel like there's something wrong with you. You're like, when in reality you're just trying to enjoy life. I mean, fuck it. It's hard to fucking enjoy life sometimes. But it all comes in waves and it all comes in waves and I mean, everything that goes up comes down, everything that goes down comes back up. And I just always think like, hey, I mean, it may have been a rough uh, it may have been a rough day some days, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm gifted with finding the light and everything. So I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful for that because without that, if I wasn't able to see that, then I don't know. I don't know if I'd be here at all. I don't know if the ops would have fucking made it to 27. But I mean, in a way, I'm fucking proud of myself. Just, just being here, and you know, I didn't know it my whole life, but I knew the ops don't fucking stop. And and it's funny because even as a kid, get like rough times in school and all this weird stuff. I remember thinking like, even at that time, I'm like, I would not want to be anybody but me. I like I like 14 years old or something. I remember thinking that like, you know, hell on earth, hell on the bus, hell on the fucking school, hell at home, hell everywhere, and I'm just like, well, fuck. I still want to be me. I still want to be here, but I just got to get through this. And I made it. I made it. I made it out of fucking high school. I made it past all that. I made it through obstacles in this town. I made it through family issues and uh, just feeling. I mean, just feeling like the man on the moon, the man on the fucking moon. I would, I would think that's always gonna be my vibe, man on the moon. But guess what? I'm the man not on the moon. I'm the man almost in a cage. I'm a man in a cage, and you know, I know I'm gonna break out of this someday. But yeah, I mean, all the hard work it might go unnoticed, but as long as you're striving, then I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, I just know that as far as the man on the moon vibe, I don't think I don't think that's a great way to look at things. Even if you are, even if you feel like, hey, I have fucking nobody around me that's in this town, or feeling like that most of your life, like, hey, I don't fucking know anybody that cares. Well, that's the thing about believing in yourself is just knowing that where you're born in, you're not you're not burdened to that forever, and the the ops ain't trying to fucking the ops doesn't want to go barely scraping 950 just so he can blow it on fucking pot and cigarettes. I mean, and then still not have any money and still not be doing anything. But I'm walking into a fucking company every day, and it's like, fuck, I I'm too late in the game to fucking. be doing that. I gotta do what I gotta do, and I just don't see a life worth even living if I gotta operate that way. Because I respect life, I enjoy life, and even in the days where I think like, holy fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just always, I just always come back around to the point of, hey, I'm, I'm gonna do everything I can, no matter where I'm at, no matter what's around, to just try and be happy. And man, I get fucking tripped up on myself sometimes, and I sometimes forget about that. But it's just like I've gotten, I've gotten myself mentally this far because if I didn't have the mind I have, then I don't think I would still be here. So I'm thankful for that. Some people, some people, it's harder to find positive and light, and yeah, I feel like I feel like a fucking white dwarf. Uh, try, I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but whatever the birth of a star is, I feel like the white dwarf, and I'm trying to fucking blow all this fucking negative energy and burst out with light. But it's not always easy. And that's the thing. Life is not easy every day. Life will never be easy. But let me tell you, it'll be so much sweeter if you get through it. It'll be so much sweeter if one day you can be like, hey, I fucking made a life exactly how I wanted it. And whether I die soon or in fucking 80 years, which I would be best case scenario of all time. But if I die in 80 years, then I want to be able to look back and be like, all right, I didn't waste a day. I lived how I wanted. I treated my body right. I reproduced. Shout out to that being like a part of fucking nature. Like, hey, you know what crabs do? They instantly get to fucking, and they have 10 million crabs, and then they go they go walk into the sea, which I seen something of. I see something where a crab cluster, whatever you would call it, a bunch of crabs, like so many crabs, like just picture a whole landscape in a road with like uh, dirt, and then just picture like 10,000 million fucking dots of red. Yeah, there's a bunch of crabs walking across the road, and they were going to the ocean, I guess, to release their eggs. And they, I was watching this video about it, and then I noticed like they disabled or the like thing, and I'm like, okay, well that must mean that they did something in this video that people didn't like. So I'm like, well, what is it? They're reporting on crabs. Well, about halfway through, they take they take their car and they're filming above, and they're just driving over all the crabs, and it's like, this is the ops mod. I see both sides. It's like, all right, there's 7 billion fucking crabs right here, and there's like millions and millions and millions and millions more uh, throughout the world. What's it to fucking run over like 100 crabs? But it's also like it's very sad because Those are little crabs going to like do their duty to reproduce. That's what animals are meant to do. But yeah, I mean, a crab don't gotta think, alright, so if I get this one crab pregnant, like, you know, is this crab gonna be a good partner? Like, they don't have to think like that. They just, have a crab, be a crab. But that's where humans are different. We have to wait to find the proper person to be with, because, you know, I'll wait, sure. I could opt into a million fucking. I could opt into a million fucking women that I would never want to be with forever. But that's the goal, is to find the one diamond in the fucking rough that is worth it all. Cause let me tell you, I've talked mad shit about marriage my whole life, and I think it's just because, uh, just to, yeah, I mean, my view that I had growing up of marriage was not exactly gold, uh, and it made me think like, well, fuck, I don't want that. But you start to see like what a marriage could be, and like it seems exciting. It definitely seems like something for me. I would like that. I wouldn't say I'm that type to need a bunch of different women. I would say I'm more the type to just want one that's exactly who I want and how I want, you know, the one person that I'm supposed to be with, which is what I look forward to. And in that way, I can have a kid that I don't resent, and hopefully have a happy family. And I don't know if that'll ever. I don't know if I even have enough time in this world to make it that far, but it's fun to think about, and I know it's worth the wait. Cause I mean, I don't know what it is, but even though I do want that, uh, especially in just this time of my life, I feel like I operate best to myself. I feel like I'm able to figure my own things out and think about things in my own head, and be okay with things, even if they seem hard. And yeah, I mean, there's certain circumstances in my life where I'm not, you know, obviously I'm not proud of the fact that I live in my dad's house, or my mom and dad's house. But it is what it is. I don't care about that kind of thing anymore. I mean, because I just know that when I do get out of here, I want it to be proper. Because I had a fake release where I got out, and then I just drowned in fucking bills and work, and I worked 6 days a week, like 12-hour fucking days, worked my ass off, and had a lot of fun, met a lot of people, but it was also very stressful at the same time. And I just know that my life is not going to be a daily paycheck to paycheck fucking grind just to barely make rent and then fucking eat ramen noodles and fucking starve and all this shit. Like, I'm either gonna live at my parents until I'm fucking dead, or I'm going to become what I want to be and get a proper release out of here. Cause I mean, that's a huge thing. That's my fault. If I if I didn't get all eager, if I didn't get all eager to move out of here when I was like 20, uh, just based off of what other people would think, like, oh wow, all my a bunch of people are going to college, all this stuff, and you're just like, all right, well, I got to get at least moved out on my own. And if I didn't do that, if I would have just been patient, I could have been years ahead of where I am right now. And I have this thinking of like, I always had this thinking of like, you're getting older, man. You're getting older. Time's running out, and it's like, well, some people are just realizing the stuff I've realized when they're way older. And I still have, if I can get certain things in check with my health, then I feel like, I mean, the sky's the fucking limit, and that's how I want to live. Because I mean, when I'm when I'm dying or however it may happen, I just know that I'm not going to be thinking like, oh, I should have kept working at the fucking grocery store or whatever it may be. Like, I'm going to be thinking, damn, I should have opted out of wasting my time and opted into what I want to do. And it's definitely not easy, you know. The whole world thinks you're a fucking joke at first, but you know, if every day you're thriving to do better and make it better, then you'll eventually find it out. And then you can earn a life you deserve, live a life you deserve, and I just can't wait for that. So I guess a big factor in staying positive is even even if it seems crazy, just thinking about what you want your life to be and taking nothing less. Because yeah, I mean, I'm I'm very lucky in many ways, and I never stop being thankful for those ways. I'm a lucky guy with a lot of negative things thrown at me every day. And am I wrong to feel alone? No, because I think a lot of people feel alone in these times, and I think without even realizing it, we're living through some very hard times. And yeah, I mean, I noticed how in moments I've always trying to light, be light, and then when I look back, I'm like, holy shit, that was dark times, and I thrived. I lived happy, and that's how I want to do. Cause if it weren't for this place, I mean, fuck, I would be working 9 to 5s and possibly homeless at this point with the pandemic. And I got a dog, so I'm not leaving him because I could go crashing on couches and stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not leaving my doggy. Uh, I can't. He's been there for me every second, uh, and I'll continue to be here for him. But yeah, I mean, I guess that would be what gets me the most is just thinking like, man, someday I'm a I'm gonna do no matter what to make sure of it that I'm living a life I want to live. I was thinking about the Honda workers. There's a big joke around here about how terrible they drive once they get off of work. You know why? Because they're so fucking eager to get out of that place. They hate it. 70% of their day is spent doing something that makes them miserable. And then by the time they get off, they go home and they're too tired and stressed to even enjoy their family. And I don't want to be that. I want to be the guy that took care of everything in a fun way. I want to be the guy that is 100% there for his wife, and I want to be the guy that is 100% there for his kids and his home. And I want them to, I want my kids to look at me as an example of how to treat stuff and how to live. And yeah, I mean, I really won't settle for nothing less. Because I think that pressure a lot of people feel is not uncommon. Like, especially as a man, you think, all right, well, what am I doing? Uh, and that sort of thinking makes a lot of young people that I grew up with uh, try to get married and try to have a set job that they really didn't earn because there's no college around here. So I always joke that Honda is like Marysville University, because that's the biggest you can dream around here. Hey, what if I told you one day, you know how life is really difficult and like you have dreams and you want to live properly? Well, what if I told you one day you're gonna be waking up at fucking 5 in the morning to go do something that you fucking hate every day, and you have no skill in anything else, so you're pretty much a slave to Honda, a slave to how much they paid you, because you can't find that nowhere else. So you buy a house, you got a wife, you got a kid, and well, it's all set in stone by the time you're 25. The ride is over for a lot of people I grew up with. Unless they get divorced, then everything's set in stone. Well, I don't want to set my life in stone yet. I want to live it. I want to face the ups, the downs, everything in between. And that's the thing. Even the dark, weird times, even if it's scary or sad or you're thinking like, what the fuck is going on? It's all part of the roller coaster that is being alive. I mean, so even thinking about the bad stuff is like lessons and uh, making it teach you even more so to be who you want to be. Because I just feel like if you're not hurting nobody, if you're not hateful, and you're just living how you want to live, then I don't see any harm in it. But you know, this is a town of broken dreams, broken hearts because there's like fucking 12 women and all of shout out to the fact that there's a lot of like hot women coming into Marysville. I like that. But yeah, I mean, I tried to give him my number and all this kind of stuff before, but I probably uh, went for too old or just not really knowing. I mean, everyone's fucking taken because everybody's in a panic. Everybody's in a panic not to be alone in this fucking town. Because people are like, well, fuck. If I'm gonna die fat in Marysville and all my dreams are dead, then at least let me have a partner. It's like, alright, well, uh, while y'all are getting fat and being married and all this stuff, I'm gonna work on myself and work on exactly what I want to be, and not let the fucking dream killers come around. Cause this is shout out to J. Cole. This is fucking Dreamville in my head. So I think it's really inspiring. I think J. Cole's very inspiring because, first of all, top top 10 lyrically of maybe all time, but that's a big debate. So we'll say J. Cole definitely top of my generation. He has a song called "Let Nas Down," and a lot of people compare him to Nas. They say J. Cole is like the modern day Nas, which, but yeah, I mean, his album 2014, Forest Hills Drive, that's actually the name of the street he grew up on in North Carolina. And he comes he comes back from all the obstacles. He comes back to the town successful, and they all love him. And on the album cover, he's sitting on his like childhood home, and Cole always talks about being shy, being shy and coming through all that, and you never would have guessed it. You never would have even guessed it because he stayed true to himself, stuck with what he believed in, and look at him now. I mean, holy fuck. It's a cold world. So yeah, the world, it really is yours. It's all of ours. And I just want my slice of fucking happiness, and I know it's not gonna come easy, but I know that I will get there as long as I'm not dead. Then I will fucking get there. So yeah, I mean, the light's always there. Just fucking plug them in and keep going. You know. Hey, shout out to fucking Elf. I always try to see that every single year, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to this year because the fucking library. The only way you can get stuff is curbside pickup, right? Well, I went on there and tried to request it, and they said 34 other people are waiting on it. So probably won't get there before Christmas, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of people's favorite, as far as like my generation. That's like one of the best Christmas movies, uh, just in general, but especially of like my generation. That's a pretty big one. And Bad Santa, I like that too. Uh, But yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be able to see it this year, but maybe I'll find it online or something for free or something like that. Shout out to Gabe Gutierrez from NBC News for being in Columbus, Ohio, as Columbus gets our vaccine. Shout out. Uh, I would say I'm not alone in maybe feeling a little bit weird about the vaccine. I'm not 100% on board with like trusting that exactly, but I know that it's not out of the normal to like get a vaccine. I mean, it just takes a while to develop them. Think about the flu vaccine, all the shots and stuff you get as a kid, all the shots they give a dog. Yeah, I mean, it's just part of it. The, I don't distrust the government in that way. I distrust that uh, there might be some like underlying things that we don't know that it's gonna do yet. So like this lady said on the news, like, hey, I want to fucking see other people take it, and then maybe I'll take it. And a lot of, I mean, they are showing it. Obama, Bush, and Clinton all said they were gonna do it on a video, and I think that's cool. But it's also like, hey, they could be putting anything into them. Like, I don't know if that's really gonna raise trust, but I do want to trust it because every day it's more. 300,000 Americans are dead. And I think, well, what are we supposed to do? Just be like, all right, well, fuck it. Uh, we're just all gonna keep dying, and it just is what it is. Like, no, we need a vaccine, and I'm glad that there's like other options coming. As far as which kind, I think that makes it much more. The fact that different companies are able to like put their, not that there's like one vaccine and that's it. That would seem kind of weird. But I mean, yeah, I'm pretty low on the fucking list to get that, and I'm not super concerned about getting it, but I'm more concerned about the people that need it, get it, and then whenever I'm on the list, I'll get it. But but yeah, I mean, I do feel some kind of distrust, but that's just the fact that I want to see more people take it. Because at injection places, they were saying like, hey, so after you get the shot, go wait for 20 minutes in the parking lot and see how you feel. So so it just seems kind of like they don't exactly know how everybody's gonna react to it. And but yeah, I mean, when fucking top doctors and top scientists and the government and they're all telling you like that we need to get this done, uh, I'm on board. I'm a team player. So let's get let's get back to the fucking world. I mean, damn. I don't think we're gonna realize until way later how dark these times were, and it's just a day by day thing. We're a strong nation. We're strong people, and I'm excited that we get to see history unfold. And it's a pretty historic day. I mean, it's exciting. Life's exciting. Make it what you can, even, no matter where you are. Live exactly how you want to live. So yeah, this is the Late Night Ops TV, Late Night Ops Pod, and you know the ops will be rocking around, and the ops don't stop. So let's keep striving for good things in life and striving to stay positive, even if the fucking darkness tries to snatch you up. Tell it, hey, I'm fucking being the light of myself, and I will lead myself into the light of where I want to be, and I will never be ashamed of that. So, alright, Late Night Odds TV, follow, subscribe, all that kind of jazz shit. Take care, I'll see you.